This is my fourth and final video. I was just explaining that following the corrupted, consented hard work by the City Council of Swansea and its agencies to destroy my family, to force us out of Swansea, has resulted in me having to pay £7,000 hire purchase car, which I cannot afford, and yet I cannot return to the seller as we agreed that we would pay this car from the children's support money. They are autistic. Now that they have been removed from me and their gullible mother has been helped to label me as a dangerous person, I must be punished to pay this £7,000 worth of a car, which she was paying from child care allocations, because the children are autistic. Now I can't contact her and ask any question. All I have to do is to pay in very difficult manner, and I can't even afford to buy food. I owe everybody everything. I owe a lot of money. It's all designed to force me to get out of Swansea or take a rope. That's exactly what it is designed to do, or end up at a mental hospital where Swansea Council contracted entrepreneurs who would look after me, drawing a lot of money, maybe £700,000 per year from the Department of Work and Pensions. That's fraud. It's fraud to cause somebody to get insane so that the contractors who are associated with your council will make a business out of your insanity and make money. And the children who have been alienated will be given to these institutions as a form of business and entrepreneurship, create money out of problems which are caused by corrupt, unsupervised workers at the city councils who work and present records to the central government as fact, while knowing exactly that they caused the problem. Because right now, if you go to the city council, their records, and look at the status of the father of my children, it is written vacated. The father who abandoned is a father who abandoned his children. Imagine that record. That's the record they have. If you asked them, obviously you will ask them without the father there. Yeah. If the central government asks them, the central government does not look at the atomic level of things. It looks at the statistics. Statistics does not bring somebody's name. It gives a number of mad parents, careless parents who abandoned the children. If you look at the record in London where they say black children stab people, they are violent, they stab each other, and you read more in the newspapers, they'll tell you that those children were abandoned by their fathers because by nature, a black man is a violent man who likes to have many children and is not willing to take responsibility to look after his children. I want you to take atomic level or microscopic level of looking at my case, how it was designed, how I was before with my partner and my children, and how it was designed, and how many years it took to get to this, to alienate me and label me as a father who vacated his children. It's natural, black. It sounds very natural. When my child stabs another child and kills it, or when my child gets stabbed by another child, the papers will come straight and say, these children, it doesn't affect us. I've heard someone on television to say, the statistics of black people, children stabbing each other is at alarming levels. But don't worry, it doesn't affect us. It affects them. Imagine, this is Britain. This is one of the most civilized countries in the world, if not the most civilized. It's the father of civilization, Britain. We all know that. Father of civilization. Education leads. The law, the rule of law leads. That's what we know. That's what we know. That's what we grew up knowing. Education leads. The rule of law, you have to respect the law. This is exactly what happens. Criminals, ruthless, wanton criminals who are supervised by nobody, create businesses by contriving problems in other families, who they make sure that they will never find a route to a solicitor and finance it until they sue these manufacturers of divorce, who cause problems and end up with black violent children who only know how to express their anger by stabbing people. Imagine if your child is brought up without a father, black child brought up without a father, and the father on paper is written that he vacated his family, he abandoned his family. The microscopic detail of how the father vacated is not given. The statistics is what is given. He abandoned his children. I lift my hand up. I didn't abandon my children. This was knitted in the past 10 years by the City Council of Swansea. And I've got a lot of friends here in Swansea. So it means it's not only in Swansea. It means everywhere, even in London. That's how black children end up without fathers, destroyed families. It's written all over. Black people can't uphold the family. They are violent by nature. And yet this thing is being manufactured and nobody is taking note of it, except that everybody is going to gain. I have had my house with my children. The property in the house, when we were destroyed, when the family was destroyed, was taken by the City Council. They do that. They gain. The City Council gains. They take everything. They get you quickly. My children ran out. When I went the following day to check, I found nobody was there. They didn't take anything. They left and everything was left. And when I was kicked, I had nothing on my hand. I didn't take anything. Everything was vacated and given to the City Council, except that I went back before they locked their house and took some of the things, not all, some of the things to my shed, which was at the back of the garden where I was doing my project. And the rest was taken by the City Council. I've actually worked with some people who have got evidence of how those properties are. Imagine, this is this is a refrigerator, it's a washing machine, it's anything you can think of. A refrigerator, a washing machine, your clothing, everything you can think of. They take, because you can't take it in a hurry, isn't it? So the city council gains. So not only that, it's every other thing, because the person who then houses your children when they are removed quickly from a house with the words, the children are in danger, the husband wants to kill them all. You see, something like that. Somebody else who is contracted to that council will have to house them, and he will have to charge maybe £1,000 rent, because it's a fraud. It's a fraud. They do it. They create these problems, a crisis, create a crisis, and solve it. It's a fraud which benefits the entrepreneurs who work with the people, the corrupt people in the city councils. See, so my problem was manufactured. So I have to pay for this all this amount of money, was £7,000, hire purchase car. And 450, I can't afford it. I will have to stand in court and explain that I can't afford all these things. And £450, I've got a heap of letters from the Welsh Water. Heaps of letters claiming that they will take me to court if I will not pay £450 worth of water, which was used by my autistic. I don't have means of paying that, which was the water which was used by my autistic children when I was still their father. They want that from me. They want me to pay it. And at some point, earning very little money, the Department of Works and Pensions said, the council knows how to do these things. Create a problem and put you in such a mental strain and a little money and desperation and dissolution in such a way that you cannot pay anything, and you will not have extra money to pay for a lawyer to sue them. So they put these things together. If you are showing signs of having anything more, they bring in more. So this was the other one. I was told to pay £226 to the Department of Works and Pensions. Imagine, I cannot afford to buy food in the house. I can't buy my own food. All these things resulted from a period of 2 months that I was rendered homeless by the City Council of Swansea and its agencies, corrupt agencies, of course. I have to pay £100 parking ticket, which was accrued as I was attending housing appointments with the City Council of Swansea. You would sit there on the benches with your car parked there, where they know they will siphon some funds from you. You see, their agencies will siphon. So they know it very well. It's a well-orchestrated thing to render you penniless and at the end take a rope and finish off yourself. That's exactly what happens. Or at the end up at an institution, a mental institution, where they will also gain, because they will demand 700,000 per year from the Department of Works and Pensions to look after you, because you are insane. To say they contrived your insanity does not mean anything, and there's no record of it. You didn't say it. See, they create a problem and create a business for their friends, because all those people contracted as agencies of the city. Whether someone is letting out a house and he has got a connection with the City Council, so that's what they want. If there is no one coming up to say, I've been beaten by my husband, if there is no one coming up in many months to say, I've been beaten by my husband, they have to make sure that they create it at any cost, and it doesn't go to any court. No way. They make sure that you can't pay money to a solicitor and stand in front of a judge and say, no, I didn't do anything. All these things are a creation of a Swansea Council, and you can't actually sue them. That's the thing. But things have to change now. Things have to change. We have to expose these things and have children in harmony, families in harmony, not people, an institution investing resources to corrupt families so that they get money, they get a business out of alienated families. I can't afford to pay all these things they want. So I will have to sue them and get them to pay for all this, the whole list, all the letters that I've got here, which are designed to get my insanity to begin. Actually, in this house where I am, somebody died upstairs. It's a house which houses people with problems like this. Somebody died just before I moved. Actually, the days that I moved in. In my kitchen, I'm not lying, in my kitchen, there is some electromagnetism in my kitchen. It goes at the back of the spine. I don't know what's happening in the ceiling. Maybe they have an X-ray emitting device. I don't know exactly. But I feel this sensation every time when I stand in my kitchen sink. You see, when I stand in my kitchen sink, I have this thing going at my back, at my back spine. It doesn't happen anywhere else in the room. Only when I stand there by them. Okay, stand and do nothing, stand there and do nothing. And every day it doesn't make a mistake. So it could be something in the ceiling, embedded in the ceiling, because the ceiling, you know how X-ray rays work. So it is probably dosing, keep on dosing radiation on you up until you get a cancer. I don't know, because I was put here. It's a strategic thing. They make business. I don't know. I'm only saying it. So if I get a cancer, actually, you can't even investigate it. Imagine if you put an X-ray in a place, then remove it when the person dies, then they go on to check if there was any radiation. You can't find any. There's no evidence. Radiation does not leave any carbon print. You see, that's what happens. But I have a sensation in the kitchen. I'm suspicious of everything. So their project is designed so that you are left with no penny and no mental capacity to pay solicitors to sue all the City Council of Swansea corrupt agencies. And they have done it to so many parents. They know it works. And this must be stopped by a very good lawsuit, which will be deterrent, so that the Department of Works and Pensions does not get defrauded by people who claim that there's a problem in the society, and yet they are actually the manufacturers of that problem, so that they can get their fingers into the coffers of the Department of Works and Pensions. It's a fraud. If they are not going to investigate my case, it will be very interesting, because this is a fraud which, if they find evidence of contriving, like in my case, if they find evidence of contriving this problem which I have now, especially asking my partner everything that I have said, because I haven't spoken to yet from July 2019. It is best to go now and ask her now everything that I'm saying, because I have got evidence, irrefutable evidence to show. I've gathered my evidence. Now I'm ready. I've gathered my evidence. I'm ready. Each and every individual, each and every agency, and the City Council of Swansea itself will have to prove that everything I have said is not true. But what I can tell you, what I can guarantee you, is that I was a good father, enjoying life to the best with my family, preparing for contingencies of the future, especially concerning my autistic children. That's what I was doing through my project, my engineering project, which I'm running. and they have come to destroy everything for business. And now I'm being cooked to lose my mind or take a rope or end up at the institutions of mentally challenged people, where the same entrepreneurs will make business out of me. It's all about business. But it's fraudulent business, and it must stop. A good lawsuit with multi-million deterrence will stop them, and it will create harmony in families. Ambient normality will continue, because families by nature, all of them, whether it's the prime ministers of family, whether any family in the world, they will have arguments. To run around and claim that one's argument has become catastrophic and invest resources to contrive it and destroy the family and make money out of it is illegal, and it